everything about them. And that's why parents should take time to do a lot of activities with their children at home, especially the fathers. The fathers are never available. 90% of fathers are never available. And when they are...
Did you do a research?
I have done that, yes. I'm a relationship coach.
Oh.
I deal with families, and I know questions that have been coming
Up.
Yes, have been coming up. Most fathers are never available.
What is the impact of that on the home in general?
The impact is that the children are not close to their fathers. They find it difficult to open up to their fathers. They are always withdrawn to themselves. When the father finally comes back home, it's either seen shouting on them, go to your room, do this, do that. So they don't really know what the children are going through emotionally. The mothers are always available, but there are things the mother cannot do. And that's why the impact of the fathers is so critical to the growth and development of the children. So fathers, please create a little time.
They should be deliberate about spending time
and
with their children. Okay, but now we're looking at preparing children for school. I'm going to ask you a question now. These children on holiday, children that hitherto woke up around 6 o'clock to prepare for school are sleeping way into the mornings. How do we prepare them to say, okay, hey, sleepyhead, get up?
Well, for me, even though they were on holiday, I did not allow them to sleep too much.
Okay.
6 o'clock, you must wake up to do your house chores.
Good.
And what I did, I drew up a roster for everybody in the house. You must perform your duties before going for summer school or whatever. If you don't do it, you're not going out with anybody.
True.
So with that, they're used to waking up so early. Then by 8 o'clock, 8:30, they go for their summer school. Okay. And once they come back to, there are other activities they
lined
must.
up
So for those who are already sleeping to 11, how would you advise mothers to say? Because they have to start waking up early again.
Yeah.
How do you advise mothers?
Most summer schools are rounding up this weekend. They still have 1 week to prepare and plan for resumption. So I will advise the parents to start waking them up, reminding them that school is almost resuming. So they should go back to the way the time they used to resume, so that there won't be problems.
Okay, there are also other areas that should concern guardians and parents now. They are going back to school. Where the hard tasking work starts. And we've discussed here about how some children, maybe grade 4, grade 5, are doing 16, 17 subjects. So now they are waking up early. What about the mind? What about getting the brain in action, ready for the classwork? And for many, they are going to a new grade. Some are going from primary to secondary. Some are going from grade 4 to grade 5 and all that. So how do we sharpen their mind, get their mindset ready for the education?
Like I said earlier on, they have to be told that playtime is over. Now they have to get set and emotionally, physically and academically be set to resume to either their old school, and for those changing schools, to a new environment. They should be ready to face the challenges ahead. Challenges of new teachers they are going to be meeting, new faces, making new friends, new subjects they are going to be introduced to, and the new environment. They have to prepare their mind. Their parents must do that in readiness for their resumption, so that by the time they resume, they won't be reluctant. Some will accept resumption, with gladness in all their heart. Some will resist. Some will be nervous. It's all about the parents preparing their minds.
Okay, now, Thelma, we spoke about bullying earlier, and our first guest talked about it from the point of view of the school, what the school will do. Let's say your child is the bully.
Yeah.
How do we prepare these children to say, you're going back to school, don't bully anymore, to keep other children safe and happy?
Well, like in my home, I let them know that bullying is a crime. And as a child of God, you are not permitted to use foul words. You're not permitted to call people by names that are not permitted. You are not allowed to do this or to do that. And you must always use your 5 magic words. And with that...
I'm sorry. Okay, so tell us the 5 children are watching.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Excuse me. Please. I think that's 5. Okay. So those are the magic words. And it works wonders. And I also make sure that before they resume, anytime they resume, I warn them, don't ever bring anything that does not belong to you home. Don't pinch somebody. Don't use foul words on anybody. Don't collect food from anybody. So with that, they know that it's a new game. And you can't... I also made them aware that your teacher must not report you.
I like that.
Because you have been trained to be responsible and prepare to be a global child. So with that in your mind, no bullying at all. For me, bullying is in the school my children attend, Lavo British International Schools. It's a crime. If you bully any child, you are going on suspension. And if it's so bad, we ask you to
leave the school.
Leave the school and go to wherever you are permitted.
Okay, but let me go to this.
And and it's also a policy in that school. As they are entering, as they are resuming for new session now, we make parents to sign the commitment letter. Oh, nice. The child signs and the parents to sign. If your child is involved in this and in that school too, you see no bullies or pasted all everywhere. So there's awareness about bullying. So it's
that's holistic.
Because bullying has long-lasting effects.
Yes.
And bullying is not even just in the schools. It's happening in so many other places. So many places. Neighborhood, even in some workplaces. Yes. There's some implied and real. And it started because it continued because people did not check it early.
At that early.
Some parents don't know their children. Some children pretend. Don't even know their children, some habits they took from home, they are parents aware. And they are still exhibiting it till this day.
I think that's where the family bonding comes in. Yeah. Because if you know your child, because sometimes they call parents to school to say your child did this, and the parent is shouting and struggling and saying, not my child. I know my child at home. That boy sits down and just quiet. You don't know your child. Please use the holidays to know your children. It's important. It's important.
Really. Because like you said, the family is the microcosm of the society, of the nation. So when we're not raising them well there's a challenge. That's what now grows up to become the menace and all the other negative things we see in the society.
Yes.
You were about to say something.
Yeah, I was about to say that when you said intimacy, bonding at home, something happened about 4 days ago. And my little girl was trying to mimic everything that has been happening in the home and was telling everybody, this is how daddy will lie on the bed, daddy will do this, daddy will do that. We didn't know she had been watching. Monitoring everybody in the home. A 9-year-old child. And that made him to sit up and say, no, it means I have to be very,
every member of that home has to sit up and be a good example for the young children. Exactly. Our conversation is not done. We're going to Lagos now, where the focus is still on the summer holidays. They are winding up, but let's see what Lagos has to share with us.
5, 6.
The culture of children visiting friends and family members, especially for those in urban communities in Lagos State during holidays, is fast disappearing owing to harsh economic realities that push almost all members of the family out seeking for a source of livelihood.
I think it's a win-win situation in the sense that most families have support system, in the sense that some families have cousins, nephews, nieces, aunties, and uncles staying with them, and some also have services of nanny and guardian. So some parents that do work.
See, in most cases, less.
If the school owner is ready, how much is your end?
Imbibe into them the word of God, imbibe into them out character, how to live their life, and some other things, values.